Hi and welcome to Swedenboy Gaming. Today playing Heavy Rain. It was a long time ago I played this game. So it's going back into the story. It was like 2 weeks ago I played this game. I finished up Assassin's Creed Origins. Next month I may or may not get Odyssey.
My son's gonna die! You gotta save him! Please! Save my son! I beg you. You're his last chance. Save my son.
Okay. I'm gonna save your son somehow. I don't know how, but I will. For 11:43 p.m. 4.48 inches. Today is a day of Pokemon.
Lauren?
I'm sorry, Scott.
You should have listened to me, Mr. Shelby. I told you to drop the investigation.
Your son is a serial killer. How many people does he have to kill before you turn him in?
Gordy has his faults, but he's still my son. You have no children, Mr. Shelby. You can't possibly understand. You leave me no choice. Your investigation is over. For good.
Oh, okay then. I'm sorry. I will continue.
Lauren! No! Shit! Lauren! Lauren, wake up! Lauren!
Goddamn fool. Nothing's gonna work if I don't switch on that ignition.
Lauren! Lauren, wake up! Lauren!
Come on. Whew. I wonder how many times this character is on the way to fucking die. Not kill me, like die every damn time. Whew. But hey, we are back to this sort of game. I miss this game.
I was gonna take up swimming again. This isn't exactly what I had in mind. You got a car back at your place? Mine's obviously pretty fucked up.
Yeah, sure. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go settle a few scores. Come on, I'll take you home. Oh, lock your doors and windows and don't let anybody in but me. Okay?
Be careful, Scott. I don't want to lose you.
I like the what? I like the color. Oh, that's. You need to reload it. By logic, that gun can have top. That gun needs to reload, so. What is it?
Stay back! Don't come near me, or I'll shoot!
Fucking asshole.
Please, don't hurt. Oh!
Your idiot son killed all those kids, didn't he? He's the origami killer.
No! No! He's innocent! He's not a killer! Not a killer! Oh! Oh!
You're a fucking liar. Now tell me the truth.
No! No, please! Don't hurt me!
Last chance.
I don't know! I swear! I don't know anything! Oh! Oh! Stop! Stop! I beg you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything.
Gordy always wanted his fun, you know. He wanted to be like the origami killer. He kidnapped that kid and he held him under the water for a little too long. It was an accident. An unfortunate accident. He just wanted to play. He told me everything. He was crying. He was so sorry for what had happened. Whatever he did,
Gordy... Gordy is my son.
No one will miss him.
What?
That boy, Gordy killed. No one will miss him. Just street trash, like so many others.
Oh, you disgusting pile of shit. And what about John Shepard? Why did you put flowers on his grave?
I own the construction site where he died. I never forgot. I've been putting flowers on his grave for 30 years.
John had a twin brother. What happened to him?
I don't know. He was adopted, I think. His mother should know. Her name is Anne. Anne Shepard. My heart! My heart! Quickly! I need my pills. In that drawer, there.
What drawer? I won't let him die anyway.
You saved my life.
I already regret it.
Two times now. I say this live. I don't know why, but I couldn't kill him. And now the question is...
Hello, I'm looking for Anne Shepard's room.
Please sign the visitor's book. Are you a member of the family?
Yeah, you could say that.
Oh, she'll be pleased to have a visitor. No one ever comes to see her. With the Alzheimer's, she has trouble remembering things, but it'll still please her, you know. It's room 19 at the end of the corridor.
Thank you.
Ooh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. I wonder if it actually is that or if it's something more, because sometimes some people doesn't have a problem with the memory. They are some people actually have still great memory, but then by time something happened to them. It's not always the case, but with this story I have like questions to that. I want to talk with that old lady down the hall before I go in here. I will see if I can talk with her. Nope. I want to know if everything that it... Who pinged me again?
Hello, Mrs. Shepard.
Is it time for my pills already?
No, Mrs. Shepard,
They're never on time with my pills. I don't know what they do here. In the other hospital, they were always on time. But here...
My name is Madison Page. I'm a journalist. I'd like to ask you some questions about your son.
I don't like this hospital. The food isn't very good, you know.
Do you remember John?
My Johnny. He is a good little boy, you know.
Try to remember, Mrs. Shepherd. John's twin brother was placed with a foster family after the accident. What was the name of the foster family?
I asked them for a television, you know. They said I didn't have enough money. It's a pity. I'm fond of television.
You had a son named John, and John had a twin brother.
Do you have my pills? It's time for my pills.
I think your son is in trouble, Mrs. Shepherd. He's done some terrible things. I need to find him. Do you understand?
Terrible things you're telling me. He never came to see me, can you believe it? In 10 years, never. No one forgets their mother, do they?
I know what happened at Carnaby Square. Do you remember?
Carnaby Square. I think I used to live there a long time ago. We didn't have much money at the time, you know. We had to make do with very little.
Your other son, Mrs. Shepherd, John's twin brother. What was his name?
What other son? I have no other son. I never had any children.
Mrs. Shepherd, your son may be linked to a series of murders. Perhaps you have some information that could help the investigation.
Are you a new nurse? Where are my pills? I love origami, but that's not my favorite one.
Ooh. Hmm.
I love origami, but that's not my favorite one.
I love origami, but that's not my. I love the voice. It's so lovely. There it is, the dog. No way. Come on, tell me it wasn't the dog when I was.
I love origami, but that's not my
I'm
favorite
just gonna
one.
stab the woman. It was the dog. Of course it was. Oh fuck.
Oh, you know how to do these little dogs too. My children loved origami. I taught them how to do it. John loved the little dogs. He always wanted to call them Max. Max, Max, Max. All dogs with the same name. I was wasting my time telling him they couldn't all have the same name. But he always wanted his paper dogs Max. It's funny, isn't it?
Are these your children, Mrs. Shepherd? John and his brother? Is that them?
They're good little boys. Their father never looked after them. Always drinking. They didn't have an easy life, you know.
Did you make these origami figures?
My little paper animals. They played with them for hours. I showed my boys how to make them, you know.
Yes, your boys, Mrs. Shepherd. John and... what was your other son's name again?
My other son? I only had one son. My little Johnny.
This is that up.
You don't seem to get many flowers, Mrs. Shepherd.
No, but I love them. My son knows that I love flowers. I know he'll bring me some.
Must be more. Um. Uh. How do I reset the game? I think I'm gonna have to do that. Who's this? I have the plan.
What a lovely orchid. My sons loved orchids.
Sons.
We used to grow them in the back. When John died, I laid orchids on his grave. I cried when they told me. I'd already lost one of my children, and now they were taking away another one, you understand.
The foster family, Mrs. Shepherd. What was the name of the foster family that adopted John's brother?
They were really very nice people. I met them, you know. In the beginning, I used to go and see my little boy. And then I got sick and I couldn't go any longer. Perhaps he thought I'd forgotten him. He must have thought I didn't love him anymore.
His name, Mrs. Shepherd. What was his name?
But I loved him. If you only knew how much I missed him.
Please, Anne. His name. What was his name?
Come closer.
If I hear the name Sean, I'm gonna fucking yum. This is so out of control. It's such a lovely day.
We've only got a few more hours left to save Sean Mars. There has to be a goddamn clue somewhere. It's probably staring me in the face. This kid's gonna die, and I'm going around in circles!
All packed up and ready to go?
What are you talking about?
The investigation's over. We know who did it. We no longer need your services anymore, Norman. So you can ride your files all the way back to Washington. I'd be lying if I said I was gonna miss you.
The investigation isn't over. You have absolutely nothing on Mars.
Mars is guilty. Case closed. Anyway, it's no concern of yours now. You're off the case. So pack up and fuck off.
Blake, you are an unbalanced, psychopathic asshole.
I'll take that as a compliment. Honestly, I don't give a shit what you think. I found the origami killer. Everyone's happy. End of story. Have a nice trip back, Norman.
The killer's name is here. Somewhere in this data. I just have to find it. Find it before it's too late.
Oh, one last thing, sir. You should be careful not to overindulge in you-know-what. It can be dangerous. Very dangerous. It'll end up killing you if you're not careful. That would be most unfortunate, sir.
Clues. Oh shit. It's a dog.
The gun the killer left at the Blue Lagoon. Perhaps there's some way of tracing its history.
There's more to the gun.
Ari was in record mode when I was fighting with the killer. Perhaps there's something on it. The sword was already in Paco's office. It's got nothing to do with the killer. Gold watch. I'm sure I've seen this before somewhere. The watch they give for promotions to lieutenant. The killer is a cop.
Okay, so killer is. Does that help me?
Impounded in a police case 5 years ago. The gun is still supposed to be in police custody. Who checked it out? If not a cop.
This is getting really interesting now. This story is...
There is always a railroad line adjacent to where the bodies are found. And all the victims disappeared in the fall. The killer is white, age between 30 and 45. He is intelligent, calm, and determined. An organized type. He has a car. He's probably employed, but his work allows him free time.
Your eyes are bleeding, mate.
Looks like the killer is a cop. Carter Blake! That would explain the dead-end investigation and his desire to frame Ethan Mars.
Is it,
The killer is white, age between 30 and 45. He is intelligent, calm, and determined. An organized type. He has a car. He's probably employed, but his work allows him free time.
dying. Maybe I have to do that too. I don't have much time. I failed to load it as I want to do. I'm gonna be sad. I skipped the cutscene.
You've only got a few more hours left to save Sean Mars. There has to be a goddamn clue somewhere. It's probably staring me in the face. This kid's gonna die, and I'm going around in circles!
All packed up and ready to go?
What are you talking about?
The investigation's over. We know who did it.
Yeah.
We no longer need your services anymore, Norman. So you can ride your files all the way back to Washington. I'd be lying if I said I was gonna miss you.
The investigation isn't over. You have absolutely nothing on Mars.
Mars is guilty. Case closed. Anyway, it's no concern of yours now. You're off the case. So pack up and fuck off.
Blake, you are an unbalanced, psychopathic asshole.
I'll take that as a compliment. Honestly, I don't give a shit what you think. I found the origami killer. Everyone's happy. End of story. Have a nice trip back, Norman.
Come on, come on, come on. Let me just... I don't want to let him die this time.
The killer's name is here. Somewhere in this data. I just have to find it. Find it before it's too late.
Oh, one last thing, sir. You should be careful not to overindulge in you-know-what. It can be dangerous. Very dangerous. It'll end up killing you if you're not careful. That would be most unfortunate, sir.
I know where to look this time at least.
Ari was in record mode when I was fighting with the killer. Perhaps there's something on it. Gold watch. I'm sure I've seen this before somewhere. The watch they give for promotions to lieutenant. The killer is a cop. The gun the killer left at the Blue Lagoon. Perhaps there's some way of tracing its history. Impounded in a police case 5 years ago, the gun is still supposed to be in police custody. Who checked it out? If not a cop. Looks like the killer is a cop. Carter Blake! That would explain the dead-end investigation and his desire to frame Ethan Mars. Show me your left breast.
What?
Your left breast. Killer's got the same gold watch.
Yeah, and so does every other cop in this precinct who's made lieutenant. So does every person who's ever bought one in some shitty mall. What's your fucking point?
It's a pretty odd coincidence.
What are you trying to say, Norman? What are you accusing me of being the origami killer?
Yeah, I think you're the killer, Carter.
Watch your fucking mouth, Norman. You're about to make the biggest mistake of your life.
Lieutenant Carter Blake, you're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used as evidence against you in a court of law.
Norman, you should be locked up. You're a fucking lunatic.
Jesus Christ, Jayden, you completely off your head? Accusing Lieutenant Blake of being the origami killer?
I have proof, Captain.
Your proof is a load of bull, Norman. All you have is a load of crackpot theories. I'm taking you off the case. Pack your bags and go back to Washington. Your superiors will hear about all this. Believe me.
Wait. Why was he on?
Let me stay with you, Scott. I don't want to go.
Look, it'll only take a couple of days. Long enough to get this resolved.
I can't just wait while you confront my son's killer.
It's the only way, Lauren. Trust me. Now go stay with your mother for a few days. I'll come and get you when this is all over.
Tell me who the origami killer is. I want to know who killed my son.
Listen, when I'm done, I'll tell you everything I know. I promise.
thought he wouldn't come. Please don't die, John. Please. Don't forget about this, Lottie.
What is this? This is turning out interesting in my opinion. Oh my god.
Lost your touch, girl. The origami killer's apartment. There must be something that'll tell me where Sean Mars is.
I take the.
He used to be a cop. Probably knew exactly how an investigation would be carried out.
That's where the smell of burning comes from. Evidence going up in smoke.
A cop's uniform. Always trust a cop. That's why children went with him. He was dressed as a cop.
I am great at investigating stuff.
This is where he cultivated the orchids that he left on the chest of his victims.
Dogs. When the band come home from the orders they were gone, they searched and called for them. They cried and begged, but it was all to no avail. They shouldn't have never been seen again.
Shit, it needs a password.
I mean, I'm
Sean Mars. Oh, the lunatic's been watching him drown. But it's some kind of a well filling up with rain, slowly drowning him. Oh, there's not much time left. There must be something here showing where the well is.
So you found my little secret?
It's over, Scott. All those children killed just to find a father capable of saving his son?
Shut up! You don't understand.
There's one child left. There might still be time to save him. Let him go. Do what your father couldn't do.
Get in there.
Max.
Got it. Max. The name John gave to his paper dogs when he was a child.
What the hell is that? An address. It's gotta be where Sean Mars is. Hurry. There's no time to lose.
we have some sort of weapon in there.
Way too high. I'll kill myself if I jump. I gotta find something else. Way too high. I'll kill myself if I jump. I gotta find something else. This is way too high. I'm gonna kill myself. There must be another way.
I know where Sean is. I've got to tell Ethan.
Jaden. This is getting interesting, and I think I'm ending nearing the end. So yeah. Who are you? Is that Mother Sean Mars?
Sean? Sean, hang on. I'll get you out.
What are you doing here? You're supposed to be dead! Dead!
I know what you went through, Scott. You lost your twin brother. He was the only one who understood you. The only one you could talk to.
John and I were like one person. When he died, it was like a part of me died with him.
You've killed all these people, Scott. And for what? Nothing. Just to ease your pain. It has to stop now. It won't make your pain go away.
You don't understand. Out there is a father who loves his son enough to sacrifice himself. I'll find him. Whatever it takes.
You can't let the kid die, Scott. He's not responsible for what happened to you.
Only his father can save him. For years, I hoped a father would sacrifice himself to save his son. Every time they failed, it was as if my brother dies again.
Your father was an alcoholic. He was just some poor guy who was so messed up with alcohol that he couldn't save his son.
You know nothing about what happened. You hear me? Nothing. He never cared. We were just something to beat on. A punching bag for his filthy anger. He let my brother die.
You're not gonna bring your brother back by killing this child. John is dead. Don't you understand? Killing more innocent people is not gonna change that.
Shut up! You don't understand. You're like all the others. You think I'm some kind of monster. Who are you to judge me? What do you know about my life and the pain I'm feeling?
I understand you, Scott. There's nothing harder than not being loved by your parents. You must have been very brave.
It wasn't bravery. It was love. I held John's hand while he was drowning.
It's over, Shelby. Your evil little game is gonna come to an end. You're gonna spend the rest of your life rotting away in jail.
You're the only one who knows who I am. And I'm gonna make sure that you'll never talk.
Come on, Shelby. Just give up, eh? hurt my fingers tapping this button. It's amazing. This game is amazing. This story is ending soon.
Help me. Oh, that was close. Thanks.
Come on. Come on. Not too late.
He's not breathing. Shit, he's not breathing. Come on, breathe. Breathe.
Come on, son.
There was general relief this morning when the police announced that they had found Sean Mars alive more than 4 days after his disappearance. Mars had been imprisoned in a well by the man known as the Origami Killer. And news of a happy ending tonight as police commended the courage and tenacity of Madison Page, a reporter covering the Origami Killer story. Miss Page was a critical factor in the successful resolution of this case. Our main headline today: it is reported that the police have identified the man thought to be the Origami Killer. Scott Shelby, 48, is a former police lieutenant who claimed to be a private eye hired by the families of the killer's victims. Shelby was killed during a massive police operation, but further details have not yet been released to the public.
And
You're free to go.
Dad!
Sean has been waiting to see you for weeks. I thought you might like him to be here as soon as you got out. Ethan, I'm sorry.
Promise you'll never leave me again, Dad.
I promise, son. I never will again.
Our next guest is rumored to be about to receive a Pulitzer Prize for her remarkable series of investigative articles about the Origami Killer case. Showing incredible courage, her daring intervention led to the arrest of the country's most wanted criminal and saved the life of a little boy. This evening, I welcome a woman who might well be the true definition of a heroine for the ages, Madison Page. Good evening. Thank you for agreeing to talk with us. Now, you've been described as being both determined and tenacious. Two qualities, no doubt, that were needed to see you through the dark hours of this unbelievable story.
this is an amazing
Were
story.
you afraid at any time?
Thank you, Miss Page. I really admire you for what you've done.
Thank you.
For John, please. We need more journalists like you, Miss Page. It's a good thing you were there to catch that bastard.
Thank you. What's your name?
Vincent. Excellent investigation, Miss Page. You are one brave lady. You deserve a better adversary. Somebody more ferocious.
Are you sure you've thought this through, Norman? You've got a promising career ahead of you. It's a pity that...
With all due respect, sir, I'm done thinking. I need to lead something like a normal life. I've just got a bit too close to everything recently. I need to step back. At least for a while.
Will you be coming back to the FBI?
I don't know. I'm making no promises.
You can keep your Ari if you like. This one's going offline. There's a new model due next month.
I think you better take it back. It's just a little too compelling and, well, it won't help me where I'm going. The real world.
Whatever you want. I hope you find what you're looking for, Norman.
I hope so too.
This story, she...
You killed my son, Scott.
Were you thinking about that when you held me in your arms? I don't know why you did all this. Nothing can justify it anyway. I feel nothing but contempt for you. Nothing but contempt.
I want to see them again. I'm a father too.
game is amazing. I cannot end on this. And that is the end of Heavy Rain. This story was amazing, I loved it, and I don't know why, but it's such an amazing game. And I think the next series that's gonna be streamed is Until Dawn. Both because it's October and I never finished that game, so I'm gonna restart that and just finish it off. So because I love this sort of game, and I have thought about it too, and go beyond to so also, and just complete those sort of games, because I have a streak now doing this sort of game, and like I did Detroit Become Human, amazing game. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like, give me a comment, tell me about the game, and hopefully we'll see you in the next episode. Or hopefully Until Dawn.